very clear one, but it's a thing out of Ramana's teachings about the policeman and the thief.
Oh, thank you.
Let me see if I can just find it. It's not as clear as some of the other descriptions, but so to ask the mind, the small m mind, let's say to ask the mental processes, yeah? To kill itself is like making the thief the policeman. You see that?
Absolutely.
Yes. So one aspect wants to be killed, and the killer in that view would be the policeman. That which is going to be killed is the thief. Yes. They're
Yes.
two aspects of the same coin. Now, a lot of people in spiritual practices see the first aspect, but they don't see the second aspect, which is the policeman. So yes. So
Right.
now they've been practicing quite a lot to get some distance from the thief, but that distance is being claimed by the same platform of the thief, which is now appearing as the policeman. Yes. So now you were hoping when you finally saw the thief and got some space from it, there would be a lot more joy and freedom. But now you're bound by the idea of the policeman, constantly watching the thief and going over what it's doing or what it should be doing and stuff like that. Yes?
Yes.
So this is the point. So what he's saying here, to ask the mind, so let's, in recovery, we would call it self, yes, the small s, yeah? To ask the self to kill itself is like making the thief the policeman. Yeah, yeah. It's the same, but you see it differently. So now through knowledge, you've recognized an aspect of what's going on, and let's say you call it the thief, yes? But as soon as the thief becomes objectified, the new subject is the policeman. Yeah. Yes. So we have it in recovery. We have a statement that's not in the book of recovery, but observations of a lot of people in the program, which is self can't get out of self. Yes. So the thief, the policeman is not separate from the thief. Yes. Nor is the thief from the policeman. Yeah. They're a dualistic coin, so to speak. So a lot of people get to a point where that thief that was talking as a subject is objectified. You now feel like you've seen it and you call it something else, let's say the ego or whatever. Yeah. But there's still the seeing of it has been claimed and now is being presented as the policeman. Yes. Yeah. So the bondage of self continues. It doesn't matter what uniform, because it's sort of like, again, no matter how many times you cut the coin, it's still going to have two sides. Yeah. So it's two-sidedness. So the recognition of seeing that which was parading around as the subject now objectified by knowledge and understanding, yes, or meditating and stuff like that. What's now taking the role of the subject is the policeman, yes, which for many people is seemingly worse than the thief, because now you got a big stick up your ass and you're judging constantly yourself and others, and you can be a bore, like a B-O-R-E, to go to dinner with, yes, because it's like, it's one way or no way, like fundamentalism and stuff like that, or let's say a crystallizing of a living limb, so to speak, like spiritual arthritis can set in. Yeah. Yeah. So this is the idea of non-duality, is a negation of this two-ness, which in a personal level or an individual type level is called dualism. They usually use that term. Yeah. So the dualism of us is what sees everything in a dualistic way, so to speak. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you can't see whatever you want to call it, one through bifocals. Yeah. You got to realize the take them off or recognizing them as not your eyes, and then there's a seeing. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So when we're wearing these glasses of self, the seeing is sort of bastardized, and we call it looking. It's I'm looking, yeah, right now. But basically, that's the seeing, just interpreted from a self-centered view. Yes.
Mhm.
And therefore, because it doesn't, people don't get the sense of it that what you're looking for is what's looking. What's looking is seeing or awareness. Yeah. We have it as a who's looking, using what's looking to look for what's looking. And the negation isn't about any aspect of the what's looking, it's the negation of the who's looking. Yeah. Because when you see there is no who looking, you recognize seeing. Yes. Yeah.
So I was pondering, and you can hear me okay?
Yes. Yes.
I was pondering that again today, and I have had a taste already, as I told you a few months ago, but now I'm doing the work myself, right? And anyway, I popped in, and that's all I have to say.
Yeah. Great. Nice to see you.
Nice to
Yeah.
see you.
Yeah. So this understanding came from observation. The understanding may point out what you're already, not you, but there's already an observing of. This isn't like a new way of seeing. You just see the looking was seeing all along. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it continues. It grabs hold of very natural realizations, and that I'll go to type something to someone, and something will come through me, and it's okay. I'm not have no awareness. I'll go back and read it later. I don't even remember typing it, but my ego keeps grabbing it, and it's so painful. And I guess, do I just have to go through that? I want to stop it, but that's supposed to be bad.
It doesn't matter. Well, it's not bad. It's just that you can't stop it.
So I
Yeah.
just have to humiliate myself.
Because you're see, that which wants to respond in a form of stopping it is the thief and the policeman again. Yes.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Yeah. So now you'll notice it. Yeah. Just like there, you'll start noticing with that suddenness, and then let it take its course. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Anything that blossoms or blooms is based on awareness. Yeah. There's an awareness of stuff that you may not have been aware of. And what gives you a little help is like a corrective lens in this temporary pair of glasses called this an understanding. Yes. But then that's all it's doing. It's not meant to take the place of vision. Yeah. You're that which is looking or seeing.
Really? Yeah. Okay. I thought it was two different things.
No. It's the same disguised as another. Yeah. This is again a dual. You see the non-duality isn't stagnant. It's a movement. It's a direction called negation. So non-duality is an activity. Yeah, in a way. Yeah.
Okay.
That activity is seeing through the lens of non-duality what's going on. And then what happens is what was taken to be my understanding or this or that is seen in a different light. And then you recognize something that you couldn't recognize by looking for it or trying to find it. Yes. Yes. you recognize you're not that which is looking for it and trying to find it. And that brings you a peace from this constant drive or engine of seeking. Yes. Yes. It gets subdued, and then you're really here because you're really here. That's it. That's what's allow you to be really here, is you're really here. That's it. It's not like a Herculean task, or you're a special chosen one. There's just been a stopping of a lot of those engines that are pushing this activity on and on and on. And you see things a lot clearer when the camera is not constantly moving. Yes. Yeah. You're going, I wish everything would stop. You can't wait for that. There's a stopping in us, and then you see things. Yeah. To wish and hope for those things to stop is just, I don't feel that's a correct way of looking at it. Yes. Not meaning formally right or wrong, but working, not working. That definition of correct, not right or wrong, but it doesn't work. Yeah. So you see the thief and the policeman. Yes. And then, because what happens, it's almost like a slinky. The thief moves into the policeman, and then the thief and the policeman. It just replicates. Yes. It doesn't add a third functionary. It's just policeman, thief, policeman, thief. Now the policeman may become a lieutenant or the chief or shit like that. Yeah. But it's, if you see the two, yeah, if you see that, I feel that's more than enough. Yes. Yeah. Actually, everything is more than enough, but that's more than enough. Yeah.
So is it like taking off glasses that are filtering or changing?
No. What it is if you're at satsang, you're borrowing a pair of glasses that you put over the first pair of glasses that need a correction, and then that correction leads you to take off both pair of glasses.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. It's like the old story Ramana Maharshi used about the thorn, and the person is walking and realizes something's going on, and then he stops finally, takes his shoe off, and he's got a thorn in his foot. And so he looks around the ground and he finds another thorn, and he digs the first thorn out. He doesn't replace the first thorn with the second thorn. He throws both of them away. That's sort of like the understanding, the non-dual understanding. Yes?
Okay, I think I just finally understood that one too.
Okay. Well, there you go.
Thank you.
You had a good night, Lynn.
Thank you.
That was very fast. Yeah.
Can I ask something about that story a little bit? Because I'm not as Lynn, I'm glad you understood it. I need a little bit of help with those two thorns. And then you throw them away. What do you do with those thorns? What happens? Do you mind just like elaborating?
Well, again, there's no you to throw them away. Yes, but there's a throwing them away. Yes. So in other words, the understanding has a lot of value, but it's not vision. Yeah, the vision is the seeing, the awareness. Yeah, which doesn't need an understanding. The understanding is needed when we're in this misunderstanding of duality. So we call the glasses that correct the misunderstanding of duality non-duality. Yeah, so we look at duality from an understanding called non-duality, which is a negation of the dualistic understandings. That's what it is. Yeah, that's the invitation. Yeah, and so, okay, now you use non-duality. You didn't, but there was non-duality's understanding, or satsang has proven valuable to take something out of your foot, and let's say now you can travel later. Yes, but now the same thing could happen if there's an identification and a grasping of the non-duality understanding, that's a misunderstanding. Yes, do you see? Because
No.
it'll be just as heavy as the dualistic understanding in a sense.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah. So basically, the non-duality has you stripped raw, so to speak. With you are the essential quality that's necessary. That's why it's such a disarming message. You don't need anything, yeah, in a true way, which is beautiful. And there's times where you need stuff, and there's times when you don't need stuff, and there's sometimes you need stuff, and then it runs to a point where it's not needed. Yeah, but essentially, the basis of non-duality is the raw fact of our being, what we're looking for. Yes.
Right. Yes.
Yeah. So that's the thing. So, in other words, you don't replace the dualistic understanding with a non-dualistic understanding, other than a way of communicating and shit like that. You're not relying on that understanding. You're relying on the premise underneath that understanding and that is you are what you're looking for. The seeker is the source. Yeah.
So can you just go back to the thorn, the original thorn, please.
The original thorn in my side.
Yeah. I'm getting it,
All
but
right.
if you want to, but yeah, and I think
No, go ahead. Do you see the imagery is something's uncomfortable with this guy's walking? Yeah. And of course, he doesn't want to live a life of not walking. So he takes the shoe off and he looks at the foot and he sees the source of the discomfort is a thorn that he didn't know was in his foot.
Right.
So
and the thorn is
walking,
maybe the world or something like that. That's what I'm getting as a, kind of whatever that thorn is. Okay. Is that
well in this
right?
case, we're going to make it very basic, which is, let's say, the understanding of everything through a dualistic lens.
Okay.
Right.
Got it.
So we're living from a dualistic interpretation, let's say, or at least listening to it like a radio station. Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Let's take that way. So now someone tells us about another radio station. Yeah. And so now we turn that radio station on, and suddenly, and then you realize you're at the where the music is truly emanating from. So you don't need the radio.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
You need the radio
Right, so
when you're in the world of radios. So you use one radio to replace the other, but you hopefully aren't going to be, you're going to outgrow the land of radios, so to speak.
So the second thorn is maybe the dualistic realization, and then throwing it away is there's nothing, kind of no thing. Yeah. Okay. No thing to throw away. Got it. Yeah. Right.
So see, the thing is, if you are what you're looking for, sooner or later, an understanding of that may not be of service. Yes. Yeah. In other words, it was sort of like like you could pull this string before the parachute opened. Now the parachute is completely open. That thing isn't going to stop the opening. Yeah. So there you go. It's a simple.
Just
go.
Story. Just go. Love it. Thank you.
And I'm interpreting it. Who knows what he meant? The understanding I was shared was basically the thorn was like a misunderstanding, and now you get a new understanding, and you don't rely on the new understanding. You outgrow that also. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Good one. Thank you. Yeah. No, that makes sense. I like that.
Yeah. Oh, do you like that? Good.
I do. It's great.
Anybody else have any
Clarifications.
It's going this way so you might as well take advantage of it.
No hands yet.
I more than like it. I love it. Thank you.
All right, good.
I got to mention how I find religion such a fun example of that. Like, the Course in Miracles is a correction for, the mistakes of Jesus's sayings. And of course, and Jesus's sayings were a correction for, the Pharisees. And all religions are going to be the factions of the religions that split into two, and then two, and then two.
Well, this is the beautiful thing. Let's say what's going to negate the religion isn't a religion.
Right. At the time, if
religion keeps trying to negate another religion, that's just more religion.
But that's my point. Like, so Jesus would have been just another dude like you. Great, great stuff. And then look what happened to it. And then, there's been plenty before A Course in Miracles, but now A Course in Miracles for some people is very special. That, is the thorn that didn't get thrown away already.
Well, yes, but that thorn tells you to throw it away itself.
I know that's how asymptotic it is, because it is very clear about specialness and everything. And people will still say, I know this is not special, because this even says it's not, talks about specialness. But there's obviously a whole faction and division within Course people that have made it another religion.
Well, this is the irony of it. Yeah, we
Right.
can't help it. Yeah,
Right.
When you get to the party, it sucks.
That's what I meant by it being such a fun example, because it's just
yes.
Funny.
It's constantly, we're the butt of our own jokes over and over again. Yeah. And that's a drag unless you have inside info of the joke, and then it's hilarious. But it can be very frustrating when you want to get to that party and for it to still be good. Yeah,
Totally.
But this is what happens with everything. This, the old Who song, the new boss is the same as the old boss. It's just the way it rolls. Yeah. It's awesome because it tells you the aberrations and the failure of this systemic mental view. Yes. Yeah. And it can override these aberrations. Yeah. So it's sort of like the day you realize the horse you're riding is dead, and then that explains everything. You were trying to explain it thinking the horse was moving and alive, and it wasn't working, and then finally you realize it's dead, and then everything makes sense. Hopefully it leads you to get up and leave the dead horse where it lies. Don't try to resuscitate it or whatever. Yeah. That's the trip. I mean, my friend, I just went to see Zen Mark, and he was telling me, like, one of the our old friend Zen Mark, and he was telling me, one of the last statements supposedly from Buddha was, "Hey, don't make any statues of me." And then about 15 minutes later, they were making statues.
Oh God, we got 3 hands up now.
All right.
David.
G'day, hi everyone. G'day, Paul. Paul, I was going to ask you something. It's sort of like the way I sort of see it is, if you're a bad drug addict or what you're not is, or if you're an alcoholic, and that it's sort of like, for want of a better way to put it, I think you'll know what I mean, leaves the door ajar for the small mind to really run the show, or the two things to run it. And I was just wondering, I'm not a great, I've got bad habits, like I call them bad habits, sleeping habits, my whole life. It's probably from being in bands and that, and so I feel that I'm tired a lot. And I find that when I'm really worn out and tired, that's when, and even though I know, if you know what I mean, but I'll seem to get like I feel like it's attacking what I'm not then. Does that sort of make sense to you? Do you know what I'm sort of saying there? Is
Yes, it can. When you're weak and tired, this is the whole thing of recovery. They have a thing called HALT, HALT, which hungry, angry, lonely, tired. So when you're first trying to get into a life of sobriety, you've got to watch out for those conditions because they can lead the alcoholic, or the alcoholism can lead the person to a drink. Yes. Hungry, angry, lonely, tired. Yes.
Hungry, angry, lonely, tired.
So basically, I think you're more easily in a quote unquote as a vehicle taken over if you're not feeling well or something like that. It's like you left the doors unlocked and things can move through.
Yeah. Right. Thanks. Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah. But the funny thing is, with the experience of doing these talks, a lot of times, probably the best talks came when I was really sick. So this was different. It informed me through its usage of me that my condition had nothing to do with its condition, which was cool. Yeah.
Oh, that's nice. That's really nice. Yeah, I know what you're saying there. Yeah.
So it proved to me that my relevance wasn't really relevant concerning the seed assignment, which is awesome, man.
Yeah, that's a nice way of putting it. Yeah.
So this is when people are under stress and stuff, and when they most need to take a deep breath, their breath is shorter, yes, which feeds into the anxiety, and the anxiety feeds into the shortness of breath, yes. In a weird way, breath and the mental activity have a relationship different than other functions of the body, yeah. So breath can have an effect on the brain. Yeah. So if you notice, when people, like if I've witnessed some, what do you call those things? Panic attacks, yeah? The person's breath is very, very short, very, very short, yeah? And they're like just gulping in, and their mind is just, its revolution is much faster, yes? The brain really rotating quickly. Yeah, so So if you feel weak and stuff, just know that the volume of K, David, may be amped up a little. Yes.
Yeah.
But you can use whatever you're hearing. You can use it in a different way that it uses you. Actually, the same way it uses you. That activity. You can see it as not you. Yes.
Yeah.
Instead of always reacting to the activity of it's about you or it's concerning you, it's always reinforcing the you. You could see it in a different way and have it reinforce the not you, so to speak. Yes.
It's nice you say that, because I know, like from the question I just asked you, I know that it happens, like you said to me, I felt like that it happens. And then it's sort of like, all of a sudden, like I'll be sort of handling it, let's say, but then all of a sudden it'll just be all about me, and you'll crack at someone or be short, short with someone. And the beautiful thing is for me, as soon as that even happens now, I know it, like really, really quickly. I know it, and sort of at least I know it, sort of thing. So it gets better. Yeah.
Well, that's a new movement started, and then it gains momentum. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. It does.
Thanks. Yeah.
This is all aspects of traveling lighter. Yeah. So you observe these changes, And to me, they could all be bundled under the statement traveling lighter. Yeah. And having enough experience and observation of traveling heavy, it usually provokes a nice bit of gratitude and other more lofty qualities. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like the perceived easy things, like leading up to this time of the year. I'd be like this right now for a month because it's, you got to get everyone's Christmas presents, you know, it'll be full on. But I've only got one grandchild a present so far, and I bought him the wrong one. And it's just like little things that the easy ones like that just don't worry you anymore, you know. Nothing,
Yeah.
that's simple shit.
See, the funny thing is, the traveling lighter, because it's an effect, it's hard to even remember it because you're enjoying it. Yes. So, and you lose interest in really remembering it. Yeah, that's part of traveling lighter.
Yeah, yeah.
You don't remember shit. It just comes and goes.
Well,
Yeah.
that's one thing for sure, Paul. Jesus, I forget a lot of shit now. It's like I just don't remember stuff that happens yesterday unless I sort of have to jog my memory. Yeah.
Well, that could be old age approaching also, but
oh, come on, I'm not
this is
60.
we're going to pin it on traveling lighter.
Yeah. That's sort of good fun because someone can tell you the same story they've told you a few times before, and it's new every time. Like it's like the fish in the fish bowl, you know.
That's right.
Thank you. Yeah.
And you only need one movie and one book.
You only ever need one book, Mike. Just one.
We got a little, where I live, we have a little slice of a national park, so to speak. We got redwood trees in the back, and then, so that's new every day. And we've been here 5 years. It's just, it's just got so much, you know, it's not more gets revealed, but there's revealing more. Yeah, it's cool. All right, anyone else, Mike? We got.
Yep. Thanks, David. Esteban's next.
Esteban.
Esteban, you got me having his name wrong.
No, it's
Hi,
okay.
Esteban.
It's okay. Say it as you can. It's fine. I just want to share, Paul, that I was the small self was taking the idea of no self and the seeker is the sought for many years as the small s. And I just wanted to relate it to the thorn, because somehow the thorn was there, but it was not recognized, or I wasn't given the meaning I needed to give until I heard the message of non-duality through you. And I want to thank you, because that's the point when your message became the big thorn that took the small thorn. But it was very hard for me for, I don't know, 30 years maybe, because I was living as a police, right?
Yeah.
Only as a police, looking as how can I become the thoughts, or how I get back to the Godhead somehow. And I want to share. I want to thank you for that. Thank you.
Well, sometimes it's very simple. Yeah.
It is.
You don't have to go to
you can be lost. You can be lost.
You don't have to go to the stars. You just need to take back a step. Just take a step back, and then you see the shadow of the thief is the policeman, and the shadow of the policeman is the thief. Yes.
But not until you hear a message like this.
Well, for many people, it needs to be heard. Sometimes you get whacked or something, but most, the more proliferation is just hearing the message. Yes, because you already have all the experiences and stuff. Yeah,
Yeah,
you've
and some
seen
of
it
the
already.
knowledge. Yeah,
You
and some
have
of
the
the
knowledge,
knowledge.
everything. It just needs, like, it's sort of, you have all the kindling, you have all the wood, you just need a match. Yes,
Right.
to light it
Right.
up. Really, I
Right.
mean, yeah, the
Right.
same thing when I entered recovery. I had everything I needed. Yeah, but how it was being collated and how it was being interpreted just was continuing the same old, same old. Suddenly I got whacked and I saw it in a different light, and I didn't need to add anything else to learn the lessons.
Exactly.
I had already learned the lessons. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they bore fruit in recovery. Yes.
Right.
Yeah. So it's been the easier, softer way for like 35 years.
yeah,
now.
it like a jelly. It jellified in a moment. It crystallized with all the knowledge that came and came, but in a moment it crystallized, and I'm glad. Hallelujah! This is
Yes, great. Yes, I mean, really, yes. It's amazing. That's why they speak of it sort of like the gateless gate, the open secret. It's so obvious when it's seen. Yeah.
when it's heard.
When
I
it's
think.
looked for, it can be very, 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 very vague. So you fill it up with concepts because you don't have a real sense of it. But when you get a sense of it, you can see through the concepts. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That was my
Satsang
hell.
I believe satsang can deliver that possibility for sure.
It did
I
for
do.
me. It did for
Yeah,
me,
yeah,
and it was
yeah.
hellish. It was hellish to have all those concepts there, and having the police having a field day, as you say,
Yeah.
with those.
I know. It's like, have you ever been arrested and they have your whole fucking arrest history?
No.
Yeah, it sucks.
But I've been the police. My small self have been the police and having a field day with my life
Right.
for
The
years.
the policeman
was
knows
a
all your
thing.
fucking secrets. Yes.
And I can tell everyone it's hell. It's
Yes.
absolute hell.
Yes. And what happens with some folks is they're stuck on that carousel of seeking. Yeah. They figure if they're not going to get the gold ring, they're going to get enough bronze rings to mean something. You know, they'll just keep on, and maybe they'll become teachers and everything like that. Yes, but it's, yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's terrible.
But
it's
terrible. Wonderful when the shadow and what casts the shadow is seen as the same. Yes, it's very cool.
Right.
Yes.
But
yeah.
Also what you said is very important, because the police takes the heart of the judge and starts pointing at people and correcting the things that the police think he has to correct himself. He tries to correct it in others and becomes a teacher or becomes a judge. Or, you know.
Yes, I know.
Awful life. It was an awful life. Yeah.
There's a thing called, in the Course in Miracles, they talk about unhealed healers. Yeah, so that's not an unusual phenomenon. Yeah, so yeah. Yeah.
Thank you, Paul. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Esteban. I'm happy to have met you. So it's good.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks,
All right,
Esteban.
Mike.
Ready for Joe S?
Yeah, sure.
Good evening. Hi, Paul. How are you doing?
Good, Joe.
Yeah, I just want to say I'm grateful to, be present here. There was a buddy from California. I used to live out there, and he sent me one of your videos, and you were talking about the parasite, addiction being a foreign thing. And I just started, I don't want to say but there was an experience that happened where I was starting to feel lighter as you were sharing that message. And I just started reflecting how that made sense. And, you know, the whole thing of self being manifested in various ways is what had defeated us, and seeing the us and self as two separate things. And,
Yes.
and it makes sense why I had this 5th step experience with the sponsor that I read the 4th step with, because it was only by doing that it reinforced that the resentments weren't mine. There was no claiming of it, because it's like I'm wearing like an anchor on, because I feel the inner intensity when I'm talking about my problems and my life and my pain. And it's funny because I want to claim the one that's had the experience of seeing the difference, and then I want to broadcast it to people in AA out in Indiana, because they see self as this actual thing that they are, and you can hear it when they share them talking about self in meetings. And I like how you say it's more of a mental activity. And I tell people, just see things as verbs and leave the noun alone, because I feel like the selfing wants to throw the noun on top of it. And there is moments, you know, I try not to have this attitude like selfing is going to be extinct from my life. It does arise, but I notice I have, I'm more available to see it, but there's really no eye of seeing it. And I feel like the Scott saying, for some reason, just being a collective, it's just like I'm zoned in as if there's an experience. There's no like Joe shows up to hear a message, because it's just being heard by just being present. So I just want to say thank you.
Thank you, Joe, for that. Yes, that's sort of the spirit of it all, I feel. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, I have the other talks on recovery. We do 2 Zooms a week, 10:30 Pacific time, Tuesdays and Thursdays. So I have a platform to riff on the premise from page 64 you just mentioned. And,
I have been watching, you know, some of the ones that have been filmed already, and I know you got the site and it's got the listings, and it's just always fresh, you know. Just hearing, it's like the same message, but you know, a different guide, but it's the same person. And it just looking throughout the book and seeing self, and it's just like you say, travel lighter, and there's no like, I don't have to like caress it. It's just natural, you know. And and it's funny because I was listening to one video recently. You're talking about how someone will have an epiphany, but once they claim I'm having this epiphany, it's already gone.
Yes.
It's like I'm
Well,
trying
it's
to
frozen.
squeeze air.
It's in the freezer.
And I've had moments like that.
So it's brought out at spiritual conventions. You talk about it.
Right. And it's funny because it's like I get excited and I want to brag. And I remember it was a video you did in like 2015. You're like, you want to call a 1-800 hotline of epiphanies and tell them it lasted 10 minutes rather than 7. And you want to put a fucking, you know, a billboard up on the highway saying I had an epiphany for 10 minutes. So yeah, I don't know. It's just cool stuff, man. I appreciate it.
Well, thanks, Joe. Yeah, I appreciate that.
Yep.
Thank you, Joe. And that's today's talk's title, Frozen Epiphanies.
Frozen Epiphany. That's right.
And
with a side, Mrs. Paul's fish stick.
Yeah, too bad I can't put a picture in the title. And David has his other hand up.
Oh, David is back. All right.
Hey, Paul. Hey, everyone. How are you?
Is that Stephanie?
Yeah, it is. How are you? How are you, Paul?
Hey. Good. You?
Yeah, good. Thanks. I've got a weird question to ask.
All right.
How was the goose?
The goose was spectacular. It was, and the company was great. We had a very nice time. It was a strange event because I don't want to go into it, but it sort of cleansed a lot of memories I have of past holidays. situations, which was really cool. Very cool. So yeah, the goose was very, very good. And soups, everything. And the company was the best, really.
That's nice.
So
That's
thank you for that. Yeah.
No
Yeah.
worries. I hope you all had a good time.
We did. It was very nice. We had a meeting and then the people stayed, we had coffee, had the goose, had desserts. Then I was trying to get them to leave. That took a while and they finally departed. Yeah. It was great. Thank you, Stephanie.
Really good. Yeah. Nice to see you all. I can see you from where I am.
Oh, good, good. Yeah. I like to hear voices from off the screen. All right, Mike. Anyone else, Mike?
No.
I'm pretty proud of my ventriloquism there.
That's what I was thinking. It's like that was just David.
That was pretty good, David. Yeah. That was excellent. I want to do that with Muji or something. Hey, I want to Bill Churchman and Kathleen. We got the lovely chocolate. I've already, Amelia and I both had some already. And then for Ariane in Pennsylvania, she sent me a wonderful graphic comic about resentment in Corsica or something, which I'm going to get to. I haven't read to yet, but we just got these in the mail today. This is pretty cool.
Is it in
I had
Italian?
the oatmeal chocolate. It was very good. Let me see how I did it. Oh, right here. Nice. Yeah.
Glad you enjoyed it.
It's like I have 30 bullets in my my ammo box here. Very nice. Right there. Well, thank you. Thank you.
You can
Very
eat them
much.
guilt-free.
Oh yeah, they're delicious. I had the oat milk. It was very good. Thanks. And thank everybody who sends things, and I'm going to get to it. Really appreciate the sentiment and everything, and right back at you, really. This is a lovely community, and yeah. COD can stand alone. COD doesn't need any. Yeah. All right, we've got I think William S. once is raising his hand. You got him, Mike? Yeah.
I don't see him yet, but does
William Stamps. See
where
it?
is he? Oh yeah, I see him. Were you raising your hand,
Yeah.
William?
I think so.
Myself on a pew. Can you hear me?
Yep.
I'm going to repeat something I asked you a few weeks ago, which I got a modicum of information, but I'm still having issues with it. And that is the spirit and the law and the letter of the message.
All right. Okay, yes. Again, it's meant to imply something else, but sometimes it's sort of like you're losing the forest from the trees, yes? So when you're concentrating on the trees, you're missing the sense of the forest, yeah?
Okay.
Yeah. So let's say if I'll give you an example. In the early years of Zen Bitch Slap, a lady from Australia, I think Melbourne, asked me to speak on her site. She had it with another guy named Gilbert, called Urban Guru Cafe.
Yes.
So they were giving people who had messages, were sharing. So I didn't know about it. I agreed, did an interview. And then after I did the interview, I went to the site and I saw other people's videos, and I saw the comments. And in the comments, people were arguing about who said I or me or this pronoun or that pronoun, yes? And they were basically disqualifying the other people, enjoying the spirit of the law by the letter of the law. And I thought it was wild. I mean, it went on and on and on. There's a lot of people having this little dueling on the comment page. And so to me, there's a hearing of the message, which translates as a sense feltness. And then there can be the hearer of the message that can become somewhat rigid and freeze the message into an idea or an understanding. Yes?
I understand that, but the part you just mentioned, the felt sense is what I seem to be lacking.
Well, that's just a temporary condition, bro, because the absolute condition is going to leak through whatever other conditions are happening, and there'll be a sense feltness. And then you may not have captured it with the same words, but you'll have the same feeling that I have with the sense feltness. Yeah. It's just the best way for me to say it. It's going to have a sense in you, and then you'll say it in a certain way. Yeah. Yeah.
In other words, it's more graspable on an emotional level. More graspable.
Well, it's not emotion. It's sort of like, a lot of times when they describe this idea of self, it's called a sense of self. Yeah.
Yes.
You get a sense of it. It's not an emotion. It may have some connection to emotions or fed by emotions, but it's not an emotion. It's a sense. And it's like the sense of presence. It's not an emotion of presence. It's a sense of presence. So there's a sense of it, like the cat. When I'm sitting here outside with the cat senses the dog's coming out of the house before you see the dog.
Yes.
So the cat gets up and starts moving away, and then the dog comes out of the garage. Yes. So the cat has a sense of the dog way before you see it with a sense of vision or anything. Yeah.
Yes.
It senses the presence of the dog. But this is sort of what I'm that feeling. It's not a feeling, but that which I'm describing is what I mean by sense. Yeah.
Yes.
There's a sense of presence. And really what the sense of presence is made into by the mental state is a sense of presence that infers Paul or implies Paul. But Paul has no sense. It's made up. So it feeds from the spring or the sense of I am, which is the sense of presence, and it uses it to fuel its story that it's I am Paul. Yeah. So when there's a loss of interest in Paul, you're going to have a sense while you're walking around that you used to call Paul. You're going to have a sense of that. Yeah. That's what I'm speaking of.
Okay.
It can be seemingly vague because it's not so pinpointed. It's not like a shock of emotion or anything like that, but it's almost as if the fish is now swimming through the water, knowing it's in the water. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
It's a
That's
little-
the best way I could describe it. So
I
yeah.
got-
And I have a feeling it's already present and available, and hopefully satsang or a combination of something will make it obvious. Yeah.
got it.
Yeah.
Thank you, Paul.
That's the faith I have actually in the satsang, to tell you the truth.
More or less goes without saying, so to speak, if you continue with satsang and share and so on.
I feel so. I feel you're going to already know it when you have a sense of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's going to be as if you've been home all along. You just didn't think so. Yeah. And I'm emphasizing the thinking. You just didn't think so. Yeah.
I've been waiting for that, and it seems to be slow to come. But I'm having. I don't like to use the word faith, but for lack of a word, still having faith that it will come about.
Yes, and the thing is, it's probably the knock on the door will come when you're not waiting for it. Yeah, just see you're not that which is waiting for it. Yeah, yeah, that's the negation right there. The idea that it's you waiting for it, negate that, and then maybe it won't take a second of time. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And you never know, like someone shared Esteban, and it's the same message. That's the point. Just repeating. And then one of those days the garage door opens without the opener. Yeah, something. Yeah. I have faith in it completely. I do. I mean, I haven't done anything to maintain a spiritual condition other than satsang, if you want to call it that. I don't believe there is a condition called spirit you could maintain, but let's say the mental emotional condition. Yeah, satsang has been quite sufficient.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
My mind right away goes to specifics, goes to the letter, how, it's like
Yeah.
willing to give
Well,
up.
that's again, let's say the specifics would be the focusing, like a myopic focusing. The vagueness would be panoramic. Yeah. So you're going to see more in the panoramic in a relaxed manner than you're going to see in the myopic focus. Yeah. Yeah. So just tell the truth. You're not that. And then, yeah, you'll arrive, you'll be placed in that aperture number. You'll see panoramic, let's say. Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah, and I watch people on their faces. I've seen it happen at the Zoom. Clusterfocal, and then panoramic. Yes, yeah. All right. Thank you, Bill. Thank you for coming, bro, too. All right, Mike. Anyone else?
No other hands showing. Emerson
I'm
says
really
good night.
good. I look at the clock and it's 8:01. That's pretty good.
You like 801?
Yeah, I got a good one there. Yeah. So anyone else?
No hands up.
Oh, wow, look at this murderer's row here. We've got Gary Clark, Linda, and Greta. Well, supported by Bruce, Elliot, and Joe S. Well, and then
Oh, Craig May just put his hand up.
who?
Craig May.
Oh, Craig May.
And he hasn't
come
been
on.
able to be here for weeks, so you got to take him.
All right.
I just wanted to share with you something like you were saying before, Paul, how we forget things, and all this, when you're out there and the little exchanges that you have with other people and nature, and, they're so beautifully fleeting, but they're gone. The next day they're gone, Anyway, I just wanted to share with you something that happened with me this morning, because that'll be gone too soon. I was walking back from the grocer, and there was a woman pushing a pram towards me. And there was a little tacker in the pram. And as he got closer, it would have been about just shy of his first birthday. And he was sitting up in his pram, and his eyes just locked on me as we were walking towards each other. And it was unbelievable. His eyes were just alight. And as I got closer, his little hand went up like this, and he went like that to wave. It was just beautiful. And I looked back at him and I waved and I smiled. And his fucking face just lit up. It was just gorgeous, the smile on his face, and his eyes were alight. And it was like looking into a mirror. It was like he was saying hello to himself. It was just, about 5 or 6 seconds, and it was just gorgeous. I don't think I'll ever forget. His eyes were just alight and beautiful. But these things, when you're out there, these exchanges, they're just happening all the time. It's just so gorgeous. And it's so beautiful how uncomplicated we are when the head drops out of the picture, when the head's kind of in the background. And I know that my head can go off it can spin off its fucking axle, but when it does it now, I'm at peace while it's happening. Utterly at peace while it's happening. So it's kind of irrelevant what's going on in the head. It's irrelevant what it's doing. And I think everyone will get to that stage. The head's not going to stop. It's going to keep fucking chattering away and doing its thing. But you separate from it. You separate from it. You see that it's not you and you fall back into what you are, like you've said a million times. And it still does its thing, but it just doesn't, it's like a fly buzzing around your head or something. It's just so far out of the picture. It's just beautiful. Beautiful when that happens, you know, and to just see that it's not you. It's not you. Yeah. So I just wanted to share that little exchange with with that little takeaway I had this morning, because it was gorgeous.
Yes. Thank you, Craig. We're going to have like a little sideshow of Craig giving us these lovely little vignettes. Yes. Well, once a month, it'll be the Craig, the 15 minutes of Craig's closet. And then you'll have the lady near Coogee or something you're seeing and all that. Yeah, we'll have all these things. They're great. Very good. You know, there's the idea of, you know, a rich man having trouble going into heaven. Yeah, but see, when you're here, your pockets are empty. You don't have anything with you other than what you came in as.
Yeah.
Memories, they're all gone. Yeah. So you're a true pauper.
Yeah.
And quite rich, quite rich in that emptiness. Yeah. So, and then you can truly see the nature of what comes and goes when you're here. If you're always here, there's going to be a lot of gone. There's going to be thousands of gones, all witnessed from here. Seriously. I mean, the whole bus is going to unload and you're still there. Yeah. I mean, you're it. What is the witness? What can witness what goes and comes is what's here. Yeah. We're here. And so we see what comes and goes. We're not that what comes and goes. Yeah, that's cool. Thanks, man. It was great. We'll have to have that little, we'll have Craig's Corner with a little vignette. Yes. Yeah. And we got Esteban. We'll have Esteban and he'll have his martial art demonstration. Yeah, that'll be good. We'll have Kathleen showing the clear brilliance of confused and happy. Yeah, we'll have the whole, we'll have a new as a form of plastic surgery, just the relaxing of the throat and facial muscles. How much beauty can be released there. Yeah, it's awesome. All right, Mike. Anyone else?
No other hands right now.
I'm getting carried away here. Everywhere you get carried to, it's still here.
There's a lot of nice smiles though, even though there's no hands.
Here. That's good. That's good. All right. Well, let's say good. Let's say our goodbyes. Mike, as always, thank you. Hey, did we put up the Mexican thing? Did you get that up there? Thanks. So, yeah, if anyone's going to be in Mexico around February, we're going to be down there.
Besides John Walker.
It's on the website. 3 days of yapping. It'll be good. So, all right, we got Bill Churchman and Kathleen. Thank you again for the. I'm going to have some chocolate after the talk, probably. And yes, the oat milk. We got David and Stephanie. Yes, William. Yes. Sometimes, like, it's a truth that what appears is not as beautiful as what doesn't. There you go. In this case, it could be apropos. Nah, David, you are beautiful. Oh, here she comes. There she is. Nice to see you. Hey, yes. The hair looks great, Stephanie. Very nice. Yeah. Very good. Remember, it's not yours. It's growing on its own. You have nothing to do with it. All right, we've got Tommy from Ireland, Williams, Stamps, yes. I thought it was Stamps. Kathleen, as always, there she is. She's in the mini lazy boy. And then there's the monster lazy boy. We got Lynn. Thanks for dropping in, Lynn. Yeah. Yeah. Your cheeks are still burning from getting Zen bitch slapped, eh? Ha ha! There you go. Free of charge. Anu, as always, nice to see you. We got Michael Sherman. Very nice. Esteban. Mia, she's roaming around San Francisco. Jesus Christ. I'm expecting to see the police light behind you. Yeah, yeah. We got Jack. Oh, Jack G. I usually see him in the daytime. I didn't know he came out at night. Here he is. There he is. Yes. Let's see who else is here. Sherry from San Diego. Fantastic as always. Craig May. Yes, there he is. Gary. Nice to see you, Gary. Yep. We got Linda. Linda always looks like she's standing on a corner. I don't know what's going on there. You got to like waiting for a bus or something. Nice to see you, Linda. We got Greta. Have I met you before, Greta? No? Oh, nice to meet you. Honey. Yeah, hopefully we see you again. Yep. We got Bruce. There he is. Bruce, did you face life successfully for the last week or two?
Yeah, it goes as it goes. Yes. Yes.
That's all I wanted to hear. Yeah.
I'm here present with us all.
All right.
Okay. Thanks for asking.
Good to see you, Bruce. Yeah. And we got Elliot. He dropped in. I see him every few years. He's like one of those comets. He comes every few years. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Nice to see you, Elliot. Yes. And Hari.
Hey, Paul, I'm looking at the Mexico talks. It says you're talking on February 4th from 10 a.m. until 10 a.m.
No, it says that, and then look below it. It says through February 6th.
Okay, so it's not a 20.
The whole day.
There's a whole poster. There's a whole poster with information.
I'm just teasing, but it looks like a 24-hour talk, or else it's over in 1 second.
That's because the thing doesn't allow you to line item the thing.
it's going to be like a marathon, and then we'll be asking for donations every few hours. Yeah, just keep talking till I drop.
Is that on the coast?
No, it's
What?
inland.
Mountains? Interesting.
So about an hour from Acapulco inland.
Looks really
The
fun.
lady that used to
I mean, part of our area.
handle me in Toronto moved there, so she's now getting me to come down there. This
Got
lady
it.
coached. Yeah, I'm actually going there because she makes the best raw desserts I've ever had. So she's promised me a raw dessert cake, and that's why we're going. Yes,
Great.
yes. I'll see you down there, Hara.
I hope so.
Yeah. All right, there's Miss Amelia, as always. Yes. There she is. She's
She's in
never
the dark.
far from me, literally or figuratively. We got Angie, she's the amazing, laughing, smiling woman in Ontario. There she is. She's breaking open. Yes, it's coming over. There she is. We've got Susanna W. Nice to see you, Susanna. Yes. Susan K. I'm drinking those lattes. I think that's it. Let's see. We got anyone else I missed? Nope, I think that's it. Hey, thanks so much, everyone. And yeah. I'll see some of you tomorrow, Thursday, and then Saturday we have a live meeting. Mia will be there. She's going to be the guest from San Diego. So I'll see everybody. Thanks.
Thank you. Good